Today's voiceover talent is more than just a pretty voice.
Pretty voice.
Today's voiceover talent has to be a boss.
A boss.
Join us each week for business owner strategies and success with your hosts Ann Ganguzza and Gabrielle Nistico, along with some of the strongest voices in our industry.
Rock your business.
Rock your business.
Rock your business.
Like a boss.
Like a boss.
Rock your business like a boss.
Rock your business like a boss. A VO boss.
A VO boss.
A VO boss.
Welcome, everybody, to the VO Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Ann Ganguzza, along with my amazing Bossy co-host, Gabby Nistico. Hey, Gabby.
Hi, Ann.
Gabby, I want to give a big shout-out to some of our newest Boss Blasties. I like that, Boss Blasties.
Cute. Boss Blasties.
These are some of our newest clients for our Boss Blast marketing product. Shout out to Denise Kelly. Shout out to Kimberly Young, Dan Osborne,
Susan Glow and her daughters, the Glow Girls, Cassie and Sabrina. And one of our original Blasties, Dave Clark.
Guys, thanks so much for supporting the Boss Blast. And thanks so much for allowing us to help you to get your marketing out there.
You know, we talk to talent all the time who tell us it's one of the biggest challenges. It's one of the biggest struggles that everybody is facing in our industry right now. How do I get my demo into the hands of more buyers? Boss Blast is a product that a lot of people have come to know and rely on, and it's been highly effective for myself, for Ann, and for all of these people that we've been working with. And if you want to learn more about it, you can go to voboss.com, and you can even sign up for a free 15-minute consult with me and Ann if you have questions about it.
And guys, remember, this is a list that is vetted, which means that these people are on that list and specifically want to hear from you. So that is going to be a great big advantage to you guys getting the word out to people who really might be able to hire you.
Yeah, and honestly, I think we've done a really good job of keeping costs down on this product so that really one job pays it back. It makes back your money, and isn't that what everybody wants?
Guys, if you want to find out more, go to voboss.com and click on the shop tab, or you can go right to vobossblast.com.
So I just have to make note, Ann, that I feel so awkward right now because we're back on IPDTL, right? Here we are recording another episode. You were here not 24 hours ago.
I know. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm in the same studio.
I know,
because
right?
Of IPDTL.
The power of IPDTL. There it is. There was something that we had talked about while you were here that I think is going to make a great episode and we should explore today. And it was from a recent audition that I got that I was really, really surprised by. It was a voiceover audition that was asking for the voice actors to supply their social media credentials and names so that the client could determine how big an influencer the individuals they were considering were.
Wow.
Very what is happening? What is happening here? Yeah.
I can actually see that. I understand why they're asking for it because they want the voice talent to help promote. They want influencers in social media so that they can expand their market and have people buy.
Sure. We're somewhat used to seeing this with celebrities and with on-camera talent. And, you know, I feel like it's become a pretty common, consistent part of modern marketing, especially to millennials. But to see it in voiceover blew my mind.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa.
Think about this and consider this. How can we prepare ourselves for a request like that? Are you guys active on social media? Are you considered to be influencers? And Gabby, what does it take to be an influencer on social media? There's the good question.
Right? And that's what's crazy about this. So obviously, voice actors, we don't have the same kind of reach or appeal that other performance areas have. Some of us do. I mean, okay, really, really well-known people who are in animation or in an animated movie, they might. But the average working voice actor, I mean, gee, I don't know.
Or a video game, Gabby, if you think about that.
Oh, yeah,
Not
of
just
course,
animation, but
games.
Video game. Mm-hmm.
How many followers does it take?
Really?
How do you get to the center of the Tootsie Pop, right?
So then I guess I would ask you, Gabby, this particular audition, I'm going to assume that it was a commercial audition?
Yeah.
So companies today are really looking. So this wasn't for an animation. It wasn't for a video game. It was for a company that sells a product.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that company is looking probably to expand its market out into people they may not ordinarily reach. I'm wondering where this particular company had advertised before. And do they advertise on social media?
I mean, I don't know, but I think there's a couple things to consider that I think are important. I mean, first of all, it means that potential hires for voice actors are now looking. They're actively looking to see what's going on in our social media, and that's even, I think, more of a reason to tone down politics, controversy, argumentative behaviors, anything that can make them raise an eyebrow and go, oh, maybe I don't want to work with this person.
Yeah.
Maybe they're, too much of a troublemaker, so to speak, right? And which we don't think of. People don't think about it. They think, oh, it's my Facebook. Who cares? I can do whatever I want.
In terms of social media following, I think now probably very prevalent is Instagram, right? They want a huge Instagram following. And of course, Instagram is owned by
Facebook.
So they're kind of closely related. And I assume Twitter's not too far behind. And I think we can all argue one way or another which one is better, which one is more popular, which one's being phased out. But I think, honestly, as voice actors, we have to look at our combined social media power on all the platforms and see where we are in relation to, are we an influence? Are we an influencer at all? Or, how many followers do we have? Now, I'm not going to sit here and recommend that anybody go and buy followers because people can see that a mile away. Yeah. But I do believe that it's important that you, as a business on social media, really has to make an effort to be out there. I know some people just they're fleeing Facebook. They don't want to be on Facebook anymore. Maybe they just want to be on one platform. I was always of the belief that you should be on the platform where your clients are. So if you take a look at the companies that you want to work for and or companies that you keep seeing a lot of auditions for, maybe it behooves you to take a look at where they're advertising.
Well, my thought on it is this, too. You should never feel like you're embarrassed or like you want to hide from a particular segment of your business. So if clients and voiceover are now starting to say, hey, we want to see your social media, you should be like, all right, yeah, here it is. You should be proud of what's going on there and not want to cringe and go, uh-oh, maybe I shouldn't send them. That's not a good thing to do. I have friends who do this. Like, they're on Instagram, but they never post. So their feed is empty and there's nothing there. Right. There's nothing to show. Whereas if you've got even a halfway decent plan and you're consistent and you're posting regularly, it should look pretty good. You shouldn't feel bad about it. It should be fairly consistent and something that you could submit. Even if you don't have tens of thousands of followers, at least the company can say, well, they're doing what they can to stay relevant and they're building their following.
And
would you agree?
Yes, I agree. And especially agree with what you said prior to this, where please just keep anything too controversial off of your social media, because that could really make or break. That could make or break a company that may want to hire you from hiring you or not. Yeah. It's important that you are conducting yourselves in a professional manner. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. And it's not that you can't use these platforms to speak on things that would enhance your brand if they do. But I think that politics is something you should try to maybe shy away from. And religion, any sort of thing that would portray you as something other than a professional.
Yeah, it just becomes anything that I think is too heated or that could be taken negatively. And I know that that's such a broad area because, my God, anybody could take anything the wrong way. But there's going about your social media with a light heart and a sense of humor and a sense of a fun little break or entertainment in somebody's day. And then there's having like a really heavy agenda.
Yeah, that's a great point. Try not to have such a heavy agenda. And I think also post things that really kind of let people know who you are without too much controversy one way or the other. But like Gabby said, lighthearted, fun, something that showcases you that they could look at and say, you know what, this would be the person that I would want to represent my brand. This is who we are.
Yeah. And really, the funny thing is, this is what's going on everywhere. Companies are seeking this. It's almost like we're not just a voice actor anymore. We're now a brand ambassador. And that's something that I don't think a lot of voice actors are prepared for. I mean, a lot of people don't even know what that means to be a brand ambassador. I'm lucky. Having worked in radio and advertising, like that's all you do. Like you are instantly a brand ambassador. You're always putting on someone else's t-shirt, someone else's logo, and like going out there and singing their praises. And so we have to get used to that idea that we're going to be crossing over from just being on mic to really potentially being a part of that brand message and what that company is doing and like a spokesperson.
You know, it's really interesting because I just gave a presentation on corporate, and I talked about the common corporate themes that seem to be relevant today in today's advertising. Because companies have products, companies have services, and they sell their products and services. And so there are very common elements to a company's message. And as you mentioned, you are a brand ambassador. Ambassador. Is that the way you pronounce that? Don't put that in. Brand ambassador. Ambassador. As you mentioned previously, you're a brand ambassador for that company. You are working for that company. So working for that company, you are a voice for that company. And so you have to kind of enhance and or elevate and or go along with or be on board with their message, with our mission statement. And a lot of companies today have common themes for what they stand for their mission statements: environmental, green, inclusivity,
socially
diversity.
Conscious.
Exactly. So those are things that if you can demonstrate in your social media that you are also along with that helps them to identify with you and you to identify with their brand, and probably be one of those things where they would say, you know what, I like who this person is. They would be a great brand ambassador for us.
You're right. I know we did another episode not that long ago about contracts and NDAs, but guys, this is part of the fine print. When you read a lot of the voiceover contracts that we sign nowadays, there are clauses that actually give the client the right to fire you and or terminate your agreement based on conduct. Your conduct.
Yeah, absolutely.
That something you do or say or post or write in your personal life could then cost you the job.
Do you remember, Gabby, a few years back, I think one of the first very public instances of that was Aflac.
Oh, God, yeah. Bobcat.
Right?
Like, dude, what were you thinking?
No, actually, it was Gilbert Gottfried, correct?
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried. You're right. I always get them confused. Yeah, Gilbert.
And he said something on social media that wasn't acceptable. And I mean, literally got fired like in the next second. Yeah. And then there was this big campaign for the voice of the next Aflac duck.
And it was really funny because obviously there was that moment where people were like, well, it's just his social media. It was just his Twitter account. Like, what's the big deal? It was, it was there and he took it down so fast. And it's like, no, it went out. It was there. People saw it. Done. Over.
Oh, my goodness, Gabby. I can, off the top of my head, just recently, there was something that Barbara Streisand just said. Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, Roseanne Barr is another one.
Roseanne Barr, she got fired from her television. So you guys, you have to be really careful being your own brand ambassadors. Yeah. What you say and what you do on social media, because that is a reflection of your business and your professionalism. Somebody looking at you, and you may never know it. That's one thing I say so many times. You may never know. You don't know how many people are actually looking at you. They may never say anything. They may never comment. You may never know who's looking at you, but they can make that decision in a split second.
Times are changing. This is a new way of advertising, a new way for companies to reach buyers. I was reading something else today about how there are companies on the other side of this coin that are taking a stand against influencers, meaning companies in hospitality and hotels and restaurants that are in jeopardy of being taken advantage of by social media influencers who want something for free, right?
Yeah.
I want to stay at your resort, and I'm going to write all these great tweets about you, and therefore you're going to give me, the $5,000 luxury suite. Not so much. Companies are kind of pushing back a little bit and going, maybe no.
Well,
what's it really worth?
I think there's something to be said that in all of this, no matter what you do, you have to be authentic.
Yes.
And if you're not authentically, I think if you're one of those influencers that's just looking for a free ride, that, of course, does not really show authenticity at all. It's about who you are and your authentic self, and that makes them want to also have you on their side as well.
Sure. And I mean, we're not saying not to be yourself. It is okay to have your opinions. Right. It's okay to have your viewpoint on the world. All of that is great, but just authentic. Know that if it's becoming, antagonistic or it's just creating too much backlash, a company's not going to want anything to do with that.
So, Gabby, what sort of social media channels are you thinking?
The way I saw it, they wanted as many as we were willing to give in this audition, so I thought that was really interesting.
Did they specify a platform?
No, they didn't. No. Okay. So, to me, I interpret it as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, possibly LinkedIn. Now, this wasn't a corporate client, so LinkedIn may be not as valuable, but I could see a corporate client leaning that way. If the brand is really, really young, they might want Snapchat if you have it. And I also think YouTube, because YouTube's great. YouTube. Everybody loves YouTube. So if you have any kind of YouTube presence at all, it's a good thing.
And especially because I really believe new media is going that way. YouTube, Vimeo, streaming, anything streaming. I think that if you had to concentrate on a social media platform to really start to maybe build upon that, most voice actors I don't think are thinking about it right now, I would say take a hard look at your YouTube channel. And if nothing else, at least start building up, start uploading things that you've done, work that you've done, demos. Even if they're not video, you can make them video-based pretty simply. There's lots of tools out there.
YouTube itself has so many resources now that help you to create video. Yeah.
Don't not think about social media and how it may affect you getting a job and becoming a valuable asset to a company that may want to hire you to be their voice. And not just in commercial, right? This goes for anything, really. And especially for my corporate students that I was talking to the other day. I mean, you are a brand ambassador. You are a voice for that company. And the more you can help that company to spread the word, to have other people, get on board with the brand, the better.
Or just, again, general alignment. My friend Lisa Biggs, who also Anne's friend, we talk a lot about, there's many, many, many things she doesn't post on her social channels because she knows how much of her work revolves around kids and children's programming and games. Exactly. And so she's very conscious of the fact that she doesn't want any of her clients or companies to go, oh, man, what's going on here? Lisa lost sight of the audience. So it's important that we think that way. We all have the power to be influencers in some way, shape, or form.
We do.
And we got to start thinking that way now.
Yeah, and I hear this over and over again. It could take you 10 years to build up your brand, but only 5 minutes to kill it.
And it's true. And honestly, if you just happen to already be a social butterfly, this is great news for you, because it could mean that all that time you're spending on social media might actually pay off in the long run. Get you some work.
I'd like to give a great big shout out to our amazing sponsor, IPDTL, that helps Gabby and I become close, even when we're not close. And it sounds like we're in the next room, even though I just left you, Gabby, and I miss you, but I feel like I'm in the same studio.
Kevin Leach at IPDTL, he's such an influencer. He doesn't even know it. He doesn't realize. And we also want to give a big hello to our newest sponsor, of course, voiceovers.com. Big launch, just very recent. They're getting off the ground. It's happening,
Great
guys.
stuff.
Efficient, fair, transparent, voiceovers.com. Your voice, your way.
Give them a try. All right, guys, have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Join us next week for another edition of VO Boss with your hosts, Ann Ganguzza and Gabby Nistico. All rights reserved. Ann Ganguzza voice talent in association with 3 Moon Media. Redistribution with permission. Coast-to-coast connectivity via IPDTL.